Ahoy! So I've recently been reading this manga called Centuria, and let me tell you, it has been great. Today I want to talk about a particular character within that manga. Her name is Lacrima. Now I will be going into spoilers regarding her character, so if you're not caught up with Centuria, I'd proceed with caution. Okay, so the reason I want to talk about her is because Lacrima's character makes you ask, what is family? Maybe it's obvious to you, but to her it really isn't. And yes, I know she's a fictional character, but let's pretend for a second that she's not. We learn about her relationship with her brother and how his death affected her. That emotion stays with her for about 5 whole years before the main group finally runs into her. And we find out a whole range of stuff about her past, initially just relating to her brother. And how, to her at least, that relationship was the most precious thing she's ever known. At first, you think it's just as simple as her brother being the only one that cares for her, but it gets a lot more complicated than that, because even just that relationship is built on his cruelty and her desperation for attention. That dynamic becomes a deep, dark well with how it's presented, because it gives us readers an angle that even Lacrima herself can't understand. She'd rather be tortured, physically and mentally, over and over again than feel like a ghost. Because literally nobody acknowledges her. Well, the servants do from her being royalty, but really she's just a shadow walking the long halls. She eats on her own, she spends most of her time alone, so on and so forth. I really do hope that later down the line in the series we actually get to see Lacrima come face to face with her past. Speaking of her future though, we did find something out rather recently in the manga, something that changed the way we perceive Lacrima as a whole. Learning that she's nothing more than one of Hellem's creations. It gave us much more insight on why Lacrima was being treated the way she is. When I said she feels like a ghost, I meant that almost literally, because she is technically speaking not the original Lacrima, just someone inhabiting her appearance and her gift. Her memories are not the ones she had as a kid, though due to her being reborn so early into her life, all of her personality and experiences are of course her own. Unlike Altus, who was recently created and is still trying to figure out who he wants to be. I do wonder what will happen when Hellem inevitably bites the dust, because if she goes, will her creations die with her? And since Lacrima is one of them, will Lacrima die along with Hellem? I think it makes the most sense if that's what ends up happening, unless there's more information about how Hellem's gift works later down the line. But for now we can only speculate on that point. So going back to Lacrima's view on family. Her view on family has undoubtedly changed over the course of the manga's run. Like for example, she's come to view Julian and the others as her real family, rather than just being after Julian for that revenge kick as was the case earlier on into the series. Which personally I think is really nice, because it shows good internal growth. Realizing that her brother wasn't some nice guy, but just some maniacal killer, and that Julian actually had to do what he did to him to protect his own family. It really gave Lacrima a brand new perspective on things. But yeah, I think for sure Lacrima is one of the better written characters within Centuria right now. Maybe she doesn't have the most exciting fights necessarily, but her quality from the view of a reader isn't in her ability to fight. It's how she's changing as a character over time. Anyway, I think that'll be it for this topic. I just wanted to make like a quick video voicing my opinions on Lacrima after catching up to the manga. I could have done a full catch-up review on the series, but I figured I wanted to make something a little bit different this time. Let me know what you think down below in the comments about Lacrima and Centuria as a whole. Do you enjoy this manga, or is it not your thing? Personally, I really liked it. It gave me like a nice dark fantasy story to read, which I haven't been reading for a while. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Whether it's anime, manga, or video game related. I'm Frogheim, and I'll see you next time.